Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. I'm trying really hard to make it a normal day, to do gardening videos. I have one short I just uploaded. I did a cooking video that will be uploaded later. I'm trying to get a gardening video in. I'm trying to make it a normal day, but I feel like I've reached my limit. It's September 11th, 2025. This date, for several years now, has been a sad date for the United States, well, in the whole world. But yesterday, God, they're going after our young people. They're targeting our young people now. I mean, they have been with the brainwashing and stuff, but, all our young people are dying with their, getting stabbed on a train, set on fire, or shot because they're teaching young people how to debate and think for themselves. Because we can't have our young people thinking for themselves and being mature, can we? I purposely taught my children to do that. I'm heartbroken. Now, if anybody wants to start accusing me, please remember, I'm not a Christian. I haven't been a Christian for about 16, 17 years. But I believed in what Charlie Kirk was doing. I still do. Teaching rhetoric. Now, you guys know I believe in reincarnation. One of my lives, I taught rhetoric. It's important to me. And he was doing a great job. He was in rhetoric back when I was living that life, which was, what was that? Late 600s BC. It was the first time I decided to incarnate on this planet, just so I can get used to it for this point in time. And for me to be able to talk about the things I do now. Not the gardening and stuff, but I was a teacher, let's put it that way. So, yeah, I do like to teach. I don't know. And then I see these videos of young people in their 20s celebrating. Wow. And my first thought is, I'm glad they're not my children. I would be so ashamed. My son, I'm very proud of. He doesn't usually post on Facebook. So we're watching TV last night. I go on Facebook. And on his story, the thing at the top, he posted a video, Charlie Kirk, talking about something my son believes in very, very strongly, and I'm so proud of him for believing this. Basically, I'm going to just kind of paraphrase. You were meant to have a purpose. You were meant to do something with your life. So get off your ass and do it. My son never even graduated high school, but he is so successful. And like Charlie Kirk, he's also proud he did not go to college. I am so proud of my son. He is a self-taught, self-made man. I couldn't be more proud. But, our young people, not just in America, on this entire planet, are the future. And we should want the best for them, and we should want them to be the best they can be. I heard yesterday, and this was never ever reported in the United States, shame on the news media here in the United States, last week, 7 assassinations in Germany. and we never heard about it. So this is going on all over the place. Disgusting. But anyways, even though I'm not a Christian, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe it is best to not be one specific religion or follow one specific path. You need to find the path that works best for you to help you grow spiritually. When you are doing this, you are fulfilling your most important purpose here, which is to learn who you truly are, because we are so much more than what we've been taught here. We are so much bigger, and there is so much more and so much bigger beyond here, if that makes sense. Now, I am a big believer in eternal life and that we are all eternal beings. Now, again, I'm not a Christian. We all have eternal lives. Okay, now, I know I was a Christian for 45 years. I understand what you guys believe. That is your belief, and you have a right to it. That's fine. I'm not going to dispute you on that. I respect your beliefs. And it's good that you do have the knowledge that there is more than this. Now, here's what I believe. Because we are eternal beings, death is an illusion. So, only the body dies, but you live on. You've only changed form. You're not really your body. I mean, while you're here, you are, but you're not, it's not who you are. So anyways, I'm happy to report that evil did not win yesterday. Because when you are living your life's purpose, and you're living it out loud, and you're helping others, and you have love, you have a light that is so strong, no one can extinguish it, even if they kill your body. Charlie isn't dead, he still lives. And his work will still go on. And I have a few different reasons I believe this. One is he already, in that short period of time, what was it, 12, 13 years since he graduated high school? And he was only 31. I think he was going to be 32 next month. He did a lot, made quite an impact in this country, on this planet, and in this universe, because I do believe in the ripple effect, the butterfly effect. You cannot extinguish that light. It is impossible. It is impossible. You can get rid of the dark by lighting it, but once you have it, and Charlie Kirk is not the only one. There are so many. You don't have to be famous. Nobody needs to know who you are for you to have a light that strong. And all these lights on this planet are lit. And even when one dies and crosses over, their light is shining not just on this planet, but in the entire universe. So, Charlie already put that out there before he died. People are not going to let that die. They're going to carry on his work. He already put it out there. He got it going. It's still going. It's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to let his work die. In fact, when something horrendous like this happens, anger is stoked in good people. And the good people will make sure that not only does that person's memory carry on, their work carries on too. Now, that being said, I also believe that since the person does not die and the person exists, they can. And I have experienced this myself personally, and I've seen it happen in others. someone who is fully in spirit, who has died and crossed over, they can come to one that is still, I always like to say incarnated, because, when you're dead, you're living too, just in a different form. To go to someone who is still incarnated and put an idea in their head. If they could just kind of, I don't even know how to explain. They could whisper it in their ear. That person will believe that they had that idea, which is perfectly fine, because we also come up with our own ideas while incarnated too. But Charlie and everybody else who has gone before us, they can do that. Okay. If that person is willing, and that's how they help here and continue on what was already started. So his work isn't going to die. He's not really dead. He is vibrating at a higher frequency, and we cannot see him. And he can. And I think a lot of people call it downloads. What I was just saying about putting an idea in someone's head, whispering in their ear, whatever. And it's not really in their ear, because, it's a spiritual thing, not physical. I think some people call it downloads, which is, yes, what it is. But it is sad, and I am angry. His poor wife and children, but me already being a grieving mother. Not that I'm not concerned about everybody else. I'm concerned about everybody involved, because it affects the entire family. It is so hard. Me being a grieving mother, I immediately, my thoughts went to the parents, especially his mother, because I know what it's like. I've been living with as a grieving mother for 11 and a half years. It never gets easier. It's still painful, and it always will be. Yesterday, every time I looked at the clock after I heard he died, I kept thinking about how I was feeling and what I was doing at that point in the day that my son died. I can't help that. But I think a lot about his parents, particularly his mother. I think, I don't know what it's like to be a dad. Dads hurt. Dads cry. I don't know. But anyways, they didn't win. And they're not going to win. They're not. I kind of feel like what I'm seeing with people celebrating, and what a lot of newscasters have said, I'm beginning to wonder if there are some people who don't have souls or spirits. I heard that is a thing, but I never believed it. Because to me, how does a body be animated without a spirit in it, without a soul? But what I'm seeing now makes me believe, well, maybe that is a thing. So, like, when you're watching the news, and if you're watching, and there are a lot of, I notice, because I keep track, I watch these things. You're watching the news, and I'm looking at these reporters and newscasters, and they have blank faces and blank eyes. They're cold and expressionless. And I'm thinking to myself, is that a real person? Is that a person? It doesn't look like, it's the shape of a person, but there's no expression, and there's nothing but coldness. So I'm wondering, well, maybe that is a thing? Are they clones? Robots? I don't know. But when you are listening to the news, if you see someone who looks like that reporting the news, turn it off. Don't listen to them. Do not listen to them. They do not have your best interest at heart. So anyways, my rant is over. I'm going to try to go and, garden and make it a normal day. Even though September 11th will never be a normal day for Americans again, this one is hurting extra bad. First the week starts off with someone who sought refuge in this country. Young woman. How many times when I was 20, I worked downtown lived in the suburbs of Cleveland, I used to take public transportation. I would get on the bus or the rapid, and I would sit down and open a book and read, just like she did that day. You seek refuge, and this is what you get. Wow. All of you with a few years ago who insisted on having those Ukrainian flags in your bio. How come I don't hear you speaking up? You don't send a country weapons continuously and call that support. It isn't. We shouldn't, never, ever support killing. And we're quiet about this murder. I don't know. I'm very sad. I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be. And make it a joyful one.